Hello, welcome to this video. Thank you for joining me. My name is Beth. If you don't know, I'm the artist behind Beth Frost Art, and in today's video I thought I would do something covering the whole process of how I published my colouring book. So for those of you that have been following me on Instagram and stuff for a while, you'll know that in November last year I published my very own colouring book, Take a Leaf out of their book. It's an inspirational wildlife colouring book, and I'm so happy and I'm so proud of it, and I'm just excited that it's here in the real world. So I thought it would be interesting and hopefully helpful for anyone who wants to do something similar or wants to know more about how to go about publishing, to do a video covering kind of the process from like why I decided to do it, how I did it, how I designed the book, how I reached out to publishers, like the process of it all, like a review of the publisher that I went for, all of that kind of stuff. So if that's something that you'll be interested in, then stick around and we'll get into the video. So this might be a bit of a long video, so hopefully that's okay with you guys. Grab yourself a drink or a snack or something and get comfy and we'll get into everything. So firstly I wanted to go over why I wanted to do this colouring book and why, like, the ideas behind it. So I think to start with, to set some context, it was back in 2020 in lockdown and had a lot more time on my hands, I suppose, and I wanted to practice more with my iPad and my Apple Pencil and digital art in general and get improve my skills with that. I wanted to learn more about Procreate, which is the app that I use to design the pages, but I'll get more into that later on in the video. But I just wanted to up my skills with everything, really. My inspiration, like, I always go to animals, wildlife, nature. If you follow my Instagram or my Facebook or anything, you'll see, like, that's all I draw. That's where I get my inspiration from. That's what I enjoy drawing and painting and making art with. Like, I find it so inspiring, so that's what I gravitate towards all the time. So it was only natural for me to want to carry that on for this book. So I started with like a few one-off line drawings and floral drawings just to like test out my drawing skills on the iPad, because it's not something I'd kind of really delved into, and I was quite happy with the results. So I just did a couple of different animals with the flowers and just as single one-off pieces. And then that kind of snowballed into, as I did more and more, and as I saw more through lockdown about people's mental health and kind of how the benefits of colouring and being creative could help you relax and de-stress and reduce anxiety, like it's good for mindfulness, like stuff everyone needed during the lockdown, I decided to pop them up on my website for people to download, and then they could either colour them on their computer or they could print them out at home and colour them in physically, just as a way to try and help people and give people something to do, and also I didn't have to like post out anything physical and risk like spreading germs or anything like during COVID times. Like, it was safer to do a lot more like digital download type of products, just in case. So yeah, that's kind of where the idea stemmed for the illustration side of things. Also, with digitally downloading them and printing them at home, it was like a one-off download and like a one-off payment. So once you downloaded and paid for it, like, you could print it off and colour it as many different times as you liked, like in different styles with different materials. So like you could repurpose it. It wasn't just like a one-off downloadable print. You could, you know, print it as many times as you wanted, which is great for during lockdown because, you know, people had a lot of time on their hands. People were bored. Like, if you had to entertain kids, like if someone messed up or didn't like how they coloured it, you could just print it out again. So yeah, I was quite happy with that idea, and I just did that for a while. And then after a while, I kind of did more and more of them, and it got to the point where I had a collection of them, and I thought, oh, maybe if I just did a few more, I could turn it into an actual colouring book. That's kind of when I first thought about actually making it into a colouring book, and it kind of just snowballed from there, really. So another big thing for me was I wanted it to be more than just a colouring book. I wanted to add something extra, because obviously there's a lot of colouring books out there on the market, a lot of them on Amazon. You can just make your own and kind of self-publish on Amazon. Not many of them, or I don't think I found any that had like text alongside the imagery. So I kind of wanted it to be a bit more meaningful and have more of a purpose than just being a colouring book. I wanted it to help people as much as possible. I know colouring is relaxing and it's de-stressing, and that's a big help, but I wanted it to be more and add something extra and a bit of extra value to it as well. I wanted it to help people as much as possible who are maybe going through a tough time from lockdown, or after lockdown, because I started it once everything was kind of back to normal a bit, but people obviously still feel the effects of it even now, so I wanted it to help people as much as possible, especially like kids and teenagers during lockdown. It was such like a surreal experience. They were cut off from their friends. Like, I know a lot of people struggled to cope, and like especially with everything online nowadays, there's a lot of issues around like body image and fitting in, like for kids growing up in this era. So I wanted it to be like a super positive experience and something that people would get a lot out of, like kids as well as adults. So for anyone who wants a bit more positivity in their lives, that's kind of what I had in mind. So that was it, that was the idea. Now let's have a look at how I actually created the book. So I decided to go with this idea, to roll with it. I looked at other colouring books to see how many pages they had, kind of did a bit of research around that, but also took into account like how many pages or how many illustrations I'd already done, realistically what I could produce and what I wanted to produce. I took into account, obviously I am working full-time, so like I have a 9-to-5 digital design job, I do commissions and markets and other stuff, like evenings and weekends, other projects, so I have a lot going on anyway, so I needed to be realistic about how much I could produce. So after all of that, I decided on doing 30 illustrations, and I thought that would be enough with the text that I wanted to do alongside it to kind of fill out a decent sized book. So I decided on 30 animals, which then meant 30 bits of text that I wanted to go with it, because I wanted it to be like educational and positive and something a bit more than just the colouring. So I wanted to place a bit of text on the opposite page to each drawing, so once you're colouring in you can kind of learn and find out more positive ideas about the animals or nature or wildlife or whatever I was illustrating. So I did some research. I kind of drew animals that I already really liked and knew a lot of information about, as well as kind of looking at other animals that may be less well known, because I tried to keep a good balance of different things, so like mammals, sea life, insects, plants, a bit of everything to kind of appeal to everyone and give it some variety so it wasn't too samey. For people that know me already, they know that I just love animals, anything to do with like wildlife and nature. I've always, since I was little, been obsessed with animals. Like, it's my favourite thing to do, like go to the zoo, go to the aquarium, go on like walks and hiking and nature. So I know like a fair bit about some of the animals that I illustrated already, just because I've, been to the zoo, or I volunteered at a wildlife place, and I found out a lot of information just from being in these surroundings and situations anyway. But for some of the lesser known ones, or ones I've not really heard of before, did a lot of research from good sources to kind of delve into their behaviours and find out their characteristics and what I could draw from that, and what I thought would be good to implement in our own lives. Like, a lot of what I've taken, you can take as like a metaphor. So some of the behaviours and characteristics of these animals, if you think about it in a context of our lives, some of it could be quite beneficial and bring quite a lot of positivity to obviously our situations and our environments. So that's kind of what I was looking for when I was researching each animal. And then that's kind of where I came up for the title of the book, like take a leaf out of their book. Like, if we can implement into our lives some of the positive things that they do, then it would bring our lives a lot more joy and positivity, hopefully. That was my aim for the book anyway. So yeah, that's where the name for the book came from as well. Like I mentioned earlier, I drew everything on my iPad. I don't have an iPad Pro, I just have one of the normal iPads. I'll find out which one it is and put it on here, but I got it secondhand, nothing fancy. Got a secondhand Apple Pencil from my brother, and yeah, downloaded the Procreate app and started drawing, and it's worked pretty well so far. It's really easy and convenient for me to work from anywhere with like the portability of the iPad. Obviously I work from home anyway, doing like my design job 9 to 5, so if I wanted to then go out to a cafe or something and do some work just to break it up a bit, it was really handy for doing that and being able to keep the momentum and the motivation going. So yeah, I found that easier. Because I originally trained as a traditional artist, painting and drawing, I find it a lot more natural to draw straight onto a surface rather than using like a graphics tablet and kind of looking at the screen whilst drawing on a tablet. So the iPad works really well for me in that sense. I find it a lot easier and a lot more natural. So yeah, that's what I used to create the illustrations, and then I popped everything together on Canva, which is like an online design kind of tool, and it's free. There's like a free version and you can do a paid version. So I just made a document on there and kind of arranged everything how I wanted it to be. I also put together the cover designs on Canva as well. So yeah, it was a really handy tool for me, and it was easy to edit because you can just kind of drag the pages and change it around without it being too faffy. So yeah, I would recommend Canva. It's a really, really good tool. So then let's move on to reaching out to publishers, which was kind of the next step. So I think I did this about halfway through the process of the book. So I kind of had the idea and I had a few illustrations and bits of text ready. So I had about half of the book. So then I kind of used that as like a draft document and sent it out to different publishers to see if anyone would be interested. And then if they were, I could carry on and make the rest of the book. So I wanted to reach out to people. I think it's important that you create these opportunities for yourself. Like you can reach out and you can do these things. You see people on social media like getting these book deals, and like it's easy if you have a big following and you're a celebrity and people come to you for stuff. But if you want that as well, then you can just reach out. Just contact people and see what happens. You don't have to wait around for it to come to you. You can go and get it yourself. So yeah, you can't really rely on people just seeing your stuff online because it's so saturated now. There's a lot of people. Yeah, why not give it a go? So I looked on websites like Amazon and like Googled colouring books, and in the descriptions saw who published them, and then researched those publishers and kind of found contact details from their websites and stuff of who to send submissions to. And I looked into the publishers that I thought would say yes and that have already got like nature or wildlife themes or animals or something where it's already worked for them, so they might be interested. Or you could do the opposite and say, I've noticed you've got a gap for this theme or project, so why not, take a look at my book. So you could do it that way as well. I also did like general searches for publishers, like just a Google search to search for publishers, and researched into publishers that way. I also follow some people on Instagram that are like fellow creatives and have already had books published, or I follow actual publishers themselves, like Better Day Books. I really like their style and their colours and like the type of books they published, and I came across them like just on Instagram, so I followed them anyway, so I already had someone to reach out to there. But it's worth looking on social media as well, and kind of taking from different aspects. Like even if you have colouring books yourself, like I have colouring books, so I looked in the actual physical books to see who published them. Like there's lots of different ways you can find out about the publishers, and then just do your research and find the person who's in charge of submissions and like their name, so then you can personalize the email a bit more to them. So yeah, that's kind of how I found the publishers, and I found loads, and I just reached out to loads, as many as I could, and some didn't get back to me at all. Some got back to me and said thank you but no thanks, which I appreciated. Yeah, some were really nice and said, we like your illustrations, but it's not what we're looking for right now, which was fair enough. I think a good example of that was Better Day Books. Let me find the email, I can read it to you. Yes, I got a reply from Better Day Books after I reached out to them, seeing if they were interested in publishing the book. But they said, "Dear Beth, thank you so much for reaching out to Better Day Books. Your drawings are beautiful, and I love that you have included information about the animals with each pattern. I think that colourists appreciate this type of additional content to enhance the experience. Unfortunately, I am not currently seeking this type of content, but wish you all the best with getting your work out into the colouring community. Thank you so much for allowing Better Day Books the opportunity to review your proposal." So like an email back like that is obviously like a bummer, because they don't want to kind of publish your book, but it's also really encouraging, and it's really nice to have someone appreciate your work and think you have nice work, but it's obviously just not what they're looking for at the moment. So I did get some emails back like that. I think did I get a different email back from Bloomsbury? So I tried Bloomsbury because they had like a wildlife section as well. And they got back to me, which I wasn't expecting because they're quite a big publisher. But they said, "Thanks for sending us your book idea. I'm afraid it's not really for us. The colouring book market was a bit of a flash, and I had a couple of years prominence. You would need a specialist publisher for something like this, I fear. Sorry not to have better news for you. Best wishes." So I mean, It's a fair point, and if it's not something they're looking for right now, but if you get an email back like that, I wouldn't take it as a no completely. I think there'll still be obviously people out there that would be interested in publishing. It might not just be for that particular publisher, but I really appreciate them getting back to me and giving their like feedback on the market and stuff like that. So yeah, a lot of them just didn't reply to me, so I really appreciate like these 2 replies. And then I did finally get a reply from Olympia Publishers, who were willing to publish my book and said they thought it should be kind of out there in the world for people to see, which was great. So yeah, my advice for reaching out to people is just to keep going, because hopefully eventually one of them will say yes. So Olympia Publishers agreed to publish my book, and it would be under their kind of children's like subcategory, which is like Bumblebee Books is the title of their kids publishing bit. So I was happy with that, because it is also aimed at, you know, preteens, teenagers, as well as adults, and as long as it got it out there, then I didn't really mind. So for the actual book itself, in terms of like specifications and stuff that I went for royal book size, which is kind of in between A4 and A5 if you're here in the UK. So just a bit smaller than like printer paper size, but not as small as like half a page of printer paper. Just because I thought it would be kind of big enough that you can get into the details of the illustrations, and it gives you enough space to kind of shade and add detail if you want to, but if you want to do it more block colour, then that's fine. So yeah, I decided to give a bit more space, because I'm the type of person that, although I do like the intricate, like detailed, like the mandala colouring books and stuff, if it's too small it really irritates me. And I like to be quite expressive, like with my paintings. If you've seen any of my work, it's not like super tiny detail, it's a lot of like brush strokes and stuff. So I wanted something that people like that can enjoy colouring instead of like tiny intricate detail. So yeah, I thought this size would be really good. It's not too big and it's not too small. Like you could take this to a cafe with you in your bag and do some relaxing colouring while you have a coffee. It's like pretty portable. Like if it was A4 in comparison to an A4 page, so here's an A4 page, here's the book. So yeah, you can kind of see like the sizing of an A4 page compared to this. So yeah, I just thought it would be a really nice handy size. It's a good size to like give as like a little gift to go towards, like, I mean it's only $4.99, so it makes a good like add-on gift to a main present or something. So yeah, I just thought it was a good size. The paper is like slightly glossy. This is another thing, I didn't really get to discuss paper or anything with them. It's got a slight gloss to it. I don't know if you can really see. Yeah, the paper is a bit more glossy than I thought it was going to be, but to be fair, it works quite well with my markers I use for it. So I use these like Arteza brush pens. So they're meant to mimic like watercolor brushes. They've got like a brush tip. It looks like, it feels like a paintbrush, and it's like water kind of paint. Water-based ink, there you go. Water-based ink, like brush tip pens, and they work really well on these pages. I'll show you an example. This is my latest one that I did, the elephant. Yeah, you can see like there's no bleed or anything. It takes really well to the paper, it dries well, it doesn't bleed through to the next page. Like the pages are pretty thin, but well, I mean, they're not like as thin as printer paper, but you'd expect like a marker pen to bleed through paper, but they don't. So I don't know if that's the pen or the paper that's doing a good job. I did do my tiger in coloured pencil, and that's worked out quite well. I like the texture that it's given as well. I think that looks quite nice. But I did find there was some resistance, like the colour pencils I use are watercolour pencils, so I don't know if that's a factor as well, but it was kind of like resisting to the paper, like it's quite waxy, and it was hard to get like a good yeah, just like a good covering. So, but I mean, it turned out well. I'm happy with it, and like you can layer it a bit and blend them and stuff, so I mean, it's fine, it worked, but I think it's easier to use the brush pens. So yeah, I'll continue to do that. I did a flamingo in the brush pens as well. I'm happy with the paper quality. I think if I could have chosen a bit more, I think I would have gone for like a more matte texture, but I mean, yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. So yeah, maybe if I just read you one of my favourite ones. I don't know. Let's see. Let me choose one. Ooh, mushrooms. Sounds weird. This is the page. My mushroom illustration, and then you get the text next to it. So let me just read you. So mushrooms. Fungi have an underground network which also facilitates the sharing of nutrients and information between plants and trees of different species. The generosity of sharing resources is invaluable and keeps our world going, no matter who or what you are. So that's quite a short one, but it's quite to the point and quite inspirational. So I think it has a good message, like a good metaphor behind it. And each of the 30 illustrations in here has something like that to go with it. A little piece of positivity to kind of go along while you're colouring and you're relaxing. So let's get into reviewing the process of the publishers. Was it the right choice? The verdict is still out on that one, I think. There have been pros and cons, which I will go through for you now. I'm so happy that I was able to, you know, bring my idea to life, that it worked, and that it's now out there in the world for people to see. People are enjoying it, it's doing its job, it's doing what I wanted it to do for people. So yes, it was the right choice because it got the book out there. So I'm glad I could work with Olympia Publishers and they could help me achieve that. And it was always been my dream to have a book published. So yeah, from that aspect, it's been amazing. I feel like they could have been a bit more professional, or maybe my expectations were just that they would be more professional because they were a publisher. I'll give you some examples. One of the things I noticed was when I submitted my final document for review and they sent it back and they'd kind of formatted it, but they'd formatted it really weird. The text was really weirdly formatted, some of them like paragraphs where there shouldn't be paragraph breaks and stuff like that, or like just one word on its own line, stuff like that. It was really weird. And also spelling mistakes. Like, I thought they were meant to like proofread it for you and check it, and obviously I did, but there's a reason I'm an artist, not a writer, and I thought they would help me kind of pinpoint stuff. And even when they formatted things and sent it back, like they'd missed out a space in between like a full stop and carrying on, or there was like too many spaces and stuff like that. Luckily I have friends and family that are very good at proofreading and could help me like point out these mistakes and send it back to them, but I think I had to do that twice. When they sent it back to me there was still stuff, so I had to send it back again. So yeah, it was a bit, I don't know, this is my first ever publishing experience, so I don't know if that's normal or if they were just having a bad day or what, but yeah, that was just my experience with them. Another thing I noticed, like when you first sign the contract and when they're first sending you the information and stuff, they said about obviously they try and help you promote it, and one of the things they do for this is to put your book on their social media, like on their Instagram. So that would be through Olympia Publishing and Bumblebee Books as well. And they said they do this for all the books, so I was like, yeah, great, sounds good, that's handy. But my book was published in November and it still hasn't been featured on any of their social medias or anything. So that's a downside, because obviously everyone else who got published that month got a mention. Yeah, I have emailed them about that, so they're aware now. So I'll chase that up if I don't see anything soon. But I think they do it in batches, so I'll keep an eye out for the next batch to see if it's in that one. If not, I'll chase them and email them again. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame, and a bit, I thought, unprofessional. Apart from that, like, it's been good. Like, the good things are they do distribute your book for you, so they put it on Amazon, Waterstones, Foils, like a few other different websites as well. So that's exciting, and it's easier for people to see, and you get more variety of people seeing it, and you can send the links out to different people depending, you know, where they are. Amazon is better, I guess, for international and stuff like that. So yeah, that's really cool to see my book available on Amazon. I designed the covers myself. So there's the back cover and the front cover, and I really like doing this. They do have people who will design the cover for you. When I submitted it, they like ask you if you want your cover design and stuff, but because I'm an artist and a designer anyway, I thought it would be weird for someone else to design the covers of my book for me, and I already had like a pretty good idea of what I wanted it to look like anyway, so I just sent them like what I thought would look cool, and kind of like the vibe that I wanted. And I was expecting someone to kind of come back to me and say, like, this is great, but maybe we should make these tweaks, or maybe we could change this to make it, you know, a bit more for this audience, or, you know, I was expecting some kind of feedback, but there was nothing. They just kind of like went straight for it and put it straight on the back and front covers, which I guess is good. Like, I appreciate that because it's what I wanted, but again, it's kind of like the unprofessionalism. Like, I was expecting maybe someone a bit more professional than me to check it over and make sure it's okay. I didn't really even get like an acknowledgement saying like it was fine. So I mean, it was easy, and I'm glad they liked it. They've added obviously like the Bumblebee logo and the barcode and the ISBN number at the back as well, which is cool. I really like that. It makes it feel very official and very real, and yeah, like a proper book. So that's one of the reasons, like, you can self-publish or you can get books made and kind of put them on your own website and sell them, but I, yeah, really wanted this. So yeah, that was good. I'm happy with that. So I was actually just having a look at the book on Amazon, because as I said, it was on Amazon. I realised I haven't like checked to see like what people think about it, if there's any reviews and stuff, and there's actually 4 5-star reviews, so I'm just gonna have a look at those. So let me see, I'll read them out for you. So the first review, this was on the 2nd of May 2024. Such a lovely little book, very well put together, and the artwork is beautiful. That's so nice. January 2024, this book is brilliant for all ages, lots of beautiful designs to colour in, and lots of fun and interesting facts too. Would recommend this to anyone. Oh, thank you. Again, January 2024, it is a really clever concept to have a colouring book which has information about animals as well as inspirational links to encourage us to be kinder to the world around us. I haven't seen that before. The designs of the animals are unique too. The page can be coloured using different media like pens, paints and pencils, which is good. It's a lovely book for adults and children. Ah, that's really nice. And there was one from December last year, December 2023. The title of it is Suitable to Any Age. So the page material is suited to felt tips, yes. Marker pens is good. I like that it contains facts to read, challenging words for a 7-year-old. Yeah, so my target audience was perhaps like pre-teens, so maybe like 11, 12 plus. But good extension to the colouring activity. I gifted to adults who have then shared with children. Equally seems suitable for teenagers who want a mindful activity. Oh, thank you. So that's amazing. If you left any of those reviews and you're watching, then thank you very much. That's very kind. I'm glad you're enjoying them. If you have already tried one of my colouring books and you have any thoughts, then please do leave a review, or let me know down in the comments or message me on Instagram or anything like that. Even if it's just to give constructive feedback, I would really appreciate it. If you want to feel inspired and do some colouring and relax and be mindful, then why not take a leaf out of their book a go. I'd love to see which animals you enjoy the most. I'm really interested to find out what everyone's favourites are, because there's some like different animals in here that don't really get a lot of credit or you don't really see very often. And also which animal you enjoy learning about the most as well, because there might be some surprising facts in here that you didn't know about or haven't thought about before. So yeah, I'd be really interested to see what you think of it. Also, if you're proud of your colouring and you like what you've made, then please take a picture of it and tag me on my Instagram or my Facebook. I love reposting them to my stories for everyone else to see, so everyone else can get inspired and see how you've coloured it, just in case anyone else is stuck for ideas. And it's lovely to share everyone's creativity. I love it. Like I said, it's only $4.99 as well, so it makes a great little present for someone, a little stocking filler or an extra little gift to a main present, or a treat to yourself if you want to do some relaxing. So I'll leave the links down below in the description to where you can get yourself a copy or someone else a copy. Check out my Instagram and Facebook accounts for pages that I've already coloured, so you can get some inspiration on how I've coloured them. If you want to copy how I've done them, or you just want to get some ideas, then they're all on my Instagram and Facebook for you to have a look. If you have any questions, or if I haven't covered anything, or if you want a separate video on something, then please comment down below. I will get back to everyone and I will try and answer all of your questions. Please give this video a like, a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or you found it helpful, and if you're planning on embarking on a publishing journey for your own colouring book or just your own book in general, then I wish you the best of luck, and I'd love to hear how you get on, if your experiences are the same as mine. If you have any different experiences, then let's chat in the comments below as well, because I'm always interested to see how everyone else has got on. I really appreciate you watching this video and spending your time with me, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!